My name is Carmen Robello, and I've been living in Carroll Gardens for almost 50 years.
My name is Nicole. I live in Bed-Stuy.
My name is Ariana Allensworth. I live in Bushwick.
My name is Tiffany Cruz. I live in Carroll Gardens.
My name is Ora Wise.
My name is Mika Deffley, and I live in Bushwick.
My name is Alex. I'm 23 and I live in Bushwick.
My name is Asim Benfanti and I live in Brooklyn.
Hi, my name is Lucille Benfanti. I'm one of Justine's two moms.
One day there was new nurses. They hired new nurses in my school. I was a bit sick. I called one of my moms. She said, "You want to call your dad?" And I said, "No, I don't have a dad." And she says, "I have a mom." And so then she says, "All right, it's okay. So call your other mom." I heard them whispering. I don't know that I didn't. Does she have two moms? I never heard of that before. And I got really shocked and felt really upset.
This was last week. I was just like walking in Astor Place of all places. I guess this crew of bicycle riders, whatever, like these kids, are like coming up the street and we're about to turn a corner and I was about to cross the street, but then I saw them so I stopped. And then for some reason this kid decided that he needed to take the time out of his bike ride to look at me and yell out on the street, "Faggot!"
At my school, I have a few of my friends who are confused and they don't know what to do and they get really devastated.
Raising my son in Carroll Gardens and being a predominantly Catholic area, he didn't have a lot of support, not at school and not with his friends, who called him fag. He had to get on the train and go to the Manhattan Center because that was the closest one available.
It's pretty unbelievable to me to think that there's no LGBT community center in Brooklyn. It's no sort of secret that there have been a ton of suicides and sort of bullying incidents across the country.
What I see all the time are young people struggling to love themselves and to express themselves and to find community.
I work at a public high school on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. I think I'm lucky to work at a school that encourages and creates a safe space for queer youth to exist and be open and comfortable, but I don't think that exists at all public high schools.
It's been really hard for us to find other families. It's amazing how isolated you can feel in a borough as big as Brooklyn.
There are a lot of people who are like marginalized and left to the wayside, who need a place to go to connect them to all the amazing work and all of the resources that already exist. We need a centralized space in Brooklyn.
What I would love to see an LGBT community center do in Brooklyn is unite those pocket groups. So imagine that you had an organization that worked primarily with young queer folks of color, coming together to build and talk with an organization that works primarily with young gay men. That's kind of amazing work, I feel like, that you could do together and across that line.
I'm Rosie Mendez. I'm the councilwoman for the 2nd District of Manhattan. I'm one of 2 out lesbians and one of 4 out gay lesbian members of the city council. The center can be the place that houses either services directly to the community or bringing in other not-for-profits who can provide those services to the community.
It's important for, I think, Brooklyn to have a space where youth can see images of themselves and have their kind of identities affirmed.
Teenagers would be able to get some advice from other teachers and understand what they're going through and how they could deal with it at home.
We're currently working on developing programs for youth. We have a youth leadership program. What most people don't realize is how large Brooklyn is. Brooklyn is 70 square miles. It has its own diversity, it has its own language, it has its own needs.
We could have a little mini Brooklyn Gay Olympics. Parents versus kids.
Yeah! The kids will beat the parents' butt!
All my life I've sang and I've stopped in the past 2 years since leaving college, since graduating from school, because I don't have that community anymore.
When I think of like queer liberation, or when I think of safe spaces for queer people, I always know that performance is somehow involved.
Digital storytelling workshops and mural painting and dance classes and theater workshops, tapping into those histories that are almost totally erased from our history books in New York City public schools.
A coming out program where we just talk about how we feel and what's going on in our lives.
We'll have a place in Brooklyn where all of the LGBT organizations can come together, put their ideas together, and help the community.
Anything that brings the community together makes people feel supported.